Hello there! I'm just here to give a quick update on how my research has been going so far since we last spoke. Now when we last caught up, or I did a little update for you, I was just covering my initial ideas for my research, which was basic bitches, femininity online, and using Instagram as my method of data collection and analysis. So since that, update, I have been working on it. The research is going really well. I'm finding it incredibly interesting. There's not much done on this topic and how femininity is online here. So I'm finding an awful lot of scope for my own research to take shape in. I've mostly been focused on reading so far. A couple of key authors I've been focusing on is the work of Shelley Budgeon. Her work on femininities and understanding identity as an embodied event have been incredibly influential to the beginning of this research. Amy Shields Dobson and her work on femininities online using MySpace and the profiles of girls and how it leads to autonomy, identity, independence, and the demonstrative femininity, I believe, is the topic. I can't quite remember. But her work is very similar to what I would be doing. I'm just focusing on one specific performance of femininity rather than a more overall view of how it is. Both of them have had fantastic influences on the research. I've really enjoyed reading their work. The other people I've been reading a little bit of Foucault, because I'm going to be using some ideas around power and the body and how power moves between consumer and producer, as well as how it moves between performing femininity and embodying femininity. So I'm going to be using that to an extent. Something I haven't had a huge amount of time to focus on yet is post-feminist agency. I have done work on it before, so I do have some grounding. But still trying to find the time to work on that around my job and my other university modules and other life commitments that I have. In terms of post-feminist agency, I've been reading Evans and Riley's book, Technologies of Sexiness. Excellent work. I used it for a research project last year, which was very useful. I've also looked at Stewart and Donohue's paper to do with performing femininity and how it can be understood as not just for the sake of men, as Naomi Wolf and Sandra Barkey argued in their late 80s, early 90s works. I'm definitely moving away from a very second wave feminist approach of femininity and how it is enacted. I'm moving towards a post-feminist approach, in the idea that you perform for yourself as opposed to because you are told to do so. Obviously, this is a much more complicated topic than I can explain in a few minutes. But I'm focusing on individuals as agency and independent performers of their own identities and such and such. It's good. Sorry about the tea, by the way. In terms of where I'm moving forwards with the research, I have a good plan sketched out, ready to keep moving forwards with that. You know, I kind of know the areas I want to cover for my dissertation, so I have a better idea of where I'm looking in my data collection, which is going to be my next job. Excuse me. Now, I have achieved my ethical approval for my research, so I have full clearing to get started. The main way that I'm doing my research is using Instagram in order to do data collection. I have an Instagram set up called Femininity Research, all one word, all lowercase, that clearly states my intentions and why I'm using Instagram and what the Instagram account is being used for, so that any persons who may use or end up in the data collection, they don't feel like I have stolen their work or that I'm using it inappropriately. And of course, if I do end up including certain images in my work that I feel are perhaps... I will be gathering images that are public access only, of course, but if there are certain ones, I may contact owners and ensure that they are perfectly all right with me using those in my research. In terms of the research, the main thing that I'm looking for is anything that's tagged with basic bitch. So it's quite simple. All I'm doing is I'm going onto Instagram, I'm going to the search bar, and I'm searching for the hashtag basic bitch. It's got a huge number of search results. Just that tag has over 250,000 results tagged to it. And these are ones that people have self-tagged. So it's really interesting to see how people are understanding this performance of femininity online and why they're choosing to call themselves basic bitches. Bitches obviously being a derogatory word for women. And that's pretty much where I'm moving forwards with the research at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. It's going in the right direction at the moment. The idea is pretty secure. I'm very happy with it. And it's just a matter of time now. I'm currently gearing up for next term, and I'm going to be trying to keep up with this research diary as and when I have things to report in terms of what I've been up to or how the project is just going in general. But for now, I think this is good. So I hope you haven't minded my ramblings for the last 6 minutes or whatever, and I'll keep you up to date. Thanks!